Thank you all for your testimony. I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Mr. Tillotson, let's go back to this study. You originally awarded the study to, name the company again?
Ryan Consulting.
Do you happen to know R. Keith Harding, the president, I believe?
I do not know.
If I have the right website, I might.
You may, but I'll be honest with you, no, I do not know.
And how much money was paid to Ryan Consulting?
For the two elements of the contract that were executed during the DBB study, about $2.9 million. There was a third deliverable that was not incorporated in the DBB study, and that was another, I think it was $3 million. So overall, about $6.
$6 million.
Yes, sir.
And how much of the work did they actually do?
I can't tell you. I do know that the McKinsey team the lead for the study was from McKinsey, and I don't know what the actual work split is.
Mr. Rutherford, how much were you paid to do this study?
$8 million.
So you got $8 million, but you let out this contract for $6 million. How does that work?
I don't know. That's not how the numbers.
Where's the other $2 million come from?
I was just referring back to when we looked at our contracts for the totality of the full contract. I thought it was $8 million.
Excuse me, let me correct myself. I think it's closer to 9 is what we actually wound up with. Sorry, it was an additional 6. That's why I'm remembering a 6.
So an additional 6.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
6 plus the
my bad. 6 plus 2.9, so it's about 9. That sounds about right.
So 8.9 or $9 million, and McKinsey gets $2 million or $6 million or $8 million. And we don't know what percentage of the work Ryan did.
I do not know what percentage of the work Ryan did.
Is that something you can figure out and get back to this committee?
I can certainly go ask. I'll have to ask Ryan. Yes.
Yeah. How in the world did you select Ryan Consulting? With all due respect, I'm sure they're nice people. If I have the right website, they got 3 senior people. Their head of human resources has a grand total of 6 years, and I'm sure that Tiffany Hollis, if I have the right website, is a very nice person.
I will get back to you with the answer.
But how do they get such a contract? I mean, the Pentagon, we're talking about $600 billion or something in annual expenditures, and I'm rounding by big numbers here, but I mean, McKinsey & Company is a huge, massive company with a great reputation. I really am curious because I think we're starting to see where a lot of waste starts to go, right? What did we get for the $900,000 or $1 million that Ryan kept if the math you gave me already was working?
Sure.
You give them 9, they give McKinsey 8. Mm-hmm. What'd we get for that other $1 million?
I will get back to you and let you know how much work they put in.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. Even just doing a study, we can't figure out what we cost and what it didn't cost and who got paid and who did the work. And then we give a contract to somebody, with all due respect. Again, I'd love to look at their background, and we will, but how in the world did they even get the contract to starting with? Sure. Because you're going to need the expertise and the depth and the knowledge of a McKinsey to actually get it done. So if you could let us know.
Sure.
I also want to know specifically from the time you decided to do this study to the time you actually let out the contract and actually McKinsey started working on it, because that's part of the problem. Whether you're buying an F-35 or whether you're buying a study, this is the problem in the bureaucracy of the Pentagon. Let me go to you, Mr. Stein. I only have a minute left here. What's your biggest takeaway from all this? You got a lot of expertise. What's your biggest takeaway? And maybe add to that what your biggest frustration is.
The biggest takeaway is that the focus has got to be on the warfighter, and the process has got to be a partnership between Congress and DoD. And I think we're all in this together, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And this is critical. The $20 trillion that one of the retired chairman of the Joint Chiefs says is we got a $20 trillion.
Yeah, but specific to this study, come on, we spent all this money, you've looked at this, you were the chairman, then you're former chairman. What's working, what's not working?
Well, the key thing that works is you got to have heart surgeons, as I said, to help the DoD. There are only certain people that can do this type of work, and you need their help. And I will say that McKinsey did a great job, and I will say that there was a lot of work around both uniform and non-uniform people in the DoD that did great work, but you need people like Kenny Klepper. If not Kenny Klepper, you need people that understand this process to make change. And once you figure out what those changes are, you got to coordinate between Congress and DoD, and you got to change culture, and culture is tough to change.
Thank you. Now I recognize the ranking member.